Oh boy, now this is what I like to see. A bit of geopolitical tomfoolery, let's say. A BBC report just today, 6 hours ago, Russia fines Google more money than there is in the entire world. Now, this isn't just, digital money, this is physical money, cryptocurrency, digital money, everything all combined. Russia has just fined Google more than the sum of pretty much anything you would classify as currency. If you were to, adjust it for, let's say, the US dollar, right? So if we go down here, uh, a Russian court has fined Google two undecillion rubles, a 2 followed by 36 zeros for restricting Russian state media channels on YouTube. In dollar terms, that means that the tech giant has been told to pay more money than what I've got, anyway. Despite being one of the world's wealthiest companies, that is considerably more than the $2 trillion Google is worth. As you can probably tell from that, even just the tone of voice that I can feel emanating from my monitor with that sentence, I think even the BBC reporter, I mean, this is the BBC we're talking about, this is not exactly the top tier news report, but you can even tell with that statement, they're having a little bit of fun here, okay, because this is just so outlandish that is actually funny. In fact, it is far greater than the world's total GDP, which is estimated by the International Monetary Fund to be $110 trillion. Again, that is no small amount of money. But this is just slightly more. The fine has reached such a gargantuan level because, as state news agency TASS has highlighted, it is rapidly increasing all the time. Now you might be wondering, why in the world would this massive, ginormous, nearly incomprehensible fine be still increasing? And if we actually follow the link through, it turns out it's increasing because it's Google aren't paying it. Right, so the increasing amount is due to the penalties incurred for not paying it within 9 months. It doubles every day after that, and there's no limit on the number, so it's just going to keep doubling every day until Google pays it. And well, judging from the amount, which again is 23, a lot of numbers, right? A lot of zeros. I don't think Google's been paying it anytime soon. I really don't. I mean, even the Kremlin spokesperson here, Dmitry Peskov, admitted he cannot even pronounce this number, but urged Google management to pay attention. Yes, Google management, you must pay attention to this fine. The company has not commented publicly or responded to a BBC request for a statement. Shock, horror, what a surprise. Now, this seems to have stemmed from the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, when all of the Western companies like Google they didn't ban Russian-based, let's talk about it in terms of YouTube, right? So they didn't ban Russian-based YouTube channels, but they stopped Russian state broadcasters on YouTube. So I believe they took down most, if not all, of their YouTube channels. And then the other Russia-based YouTube channels that weren't news organizations, they then had their advertisement revenues cut, I think a week into it, or a couple of weeks, around when it all started kicking off. So it's all come from that, pretty much. It's quite an interesting situation, just because it's so outlandish. Obviously, the Russian government knows that Google aren't going to pay this off. I mean, it would be even more ridiculous than the fine in the first place to actually believe that it was going to be paid off. I think this is more of a statement than anything. I mean, it has to be. I don't know why they don't just put a cap on it, on how much they should owe. But if they gave them a reasonable amount of money to pay, maybe they would have done in the future. Who knows? If we go on down here, Russian media outlets RBC reports that the fine on Google relates to the restriction of content of 17 Russian media channels on YouTube. So this is only for 17 media channels. So this is excluding, your Russian-based, more local YouTubers. I wouldn't be able to name any examples. I never watched any Russian YouTubers, but the smaller ones are left out of this. So this incomprehensible amount of money, these 2 undecillion rubles, is just because of 17 Russian media channels having restrictions placed on their accounts. While this started in 2020, escalated after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, that saw most Western companies pull out of Russia. With doing business, they're also tightly restricted by sanctions, which, by the way, are completely sidestepped by just doing business in another country which is neutral about the whole situation, so that was pointless. Yeah, so Google AdSense, which is how YouTubers make their money through advertisements shown on videos, and also how advertisements are shown on different websites, that's been completely cut off from Russia, so Russian-based organizations can't earn any money through Google AdSense at all. Then in July 2022, Russia fined Google 21.1 billion rubles for failing to restrict access to prohibited material about Ukraine, and blah 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 blah. So, all in all, I just find this pretty entertaining. I think it's pretty funny that this has actually happened. Of course, like I've said, this is just a statement. They're not actually going to expect anybody to pay anywhere near it. I mean, obviously not. It's completely ridiculous. We live in interesting times, and that is both a blessing and a curse, because it makes for some entertaining reads every now and then, like this one. But at the same time, you never know when that one dodgy bloke does something dodgy, and then all the dominoes start falling down, and then we all fulfill our genetic goal of dying in battle on the European or Middle Eastern front. So everybody look forward to that. I'm not blackpilling anyone. I'm just saying, let's look at this objectively. This, funny. Being drafted into a war in foreign countries, not so funny. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, found it entertaining, like nearly as much as I did, like the video, subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and make sure to come back for a couple more videos. Got a couple more coming through, so look forward to that. I'll see you in my next video.